In the traffic-choked streets of Istanbul last night, Turkish delight. President Erdogan's AK party winning back majority rule. And by the time of the next election in Turkey, it will have held power for an astonishing 17 years. With this remarkable victory, Turkey is heading well into its second decade of elected one-party rule. The question is how illiberal this democracy will now become. Erdogan sold lemonade on these streets as a child. He was jailed here, supposedly banned from politics for life, for allegedly threatening an Islamist takeover. And every AK victory is celebrated even now as the revenge of the working-class Muslim on the old secular elite.
They said Erdogan couldn't even run a village, but he was mayor of Istanbul, and then prime minister, then president.
Everybody loves Erdogan. He has always stood up for the oppressed. We're descendants of the Ottomans, and we love Erdogan because he is descended from the Ottomans too.
And this not-so-little guy is dreaming big. Today praying like a sultan in a sultan's mosque. The president affording himself a rare smile, savouring his party's success as he tightens his grip. The nation chose stability, he said. There's no other choice but stability. Let's be brothers and all be Turkey together. In the mainly Kurdish southeast, that's a message they are struggling to comprehend. This standoff with police in Diyarbakir last night was modest by local standards, but they accuse Erdogan of deliberately going to war to whip up the nationalist vote. European election observers today complained that the campaign had been characterised by insecurity and fear. In the Kurdish back streets of Istanbul, the fear is this, that the conflict will spread. And don't expect Erdogan to fight so-called Islamic State if he's busy fighting Kurdish militants instead. I don't believe he will do anything against IS, this man told us. If he had any intention of that, he would have supported Kurdish groups who are fighting them. And what of freedom of the press here? Election observers said today there was serious pressure, that journalists face criminal investigation for allegedly defaming the president. Most Turkish newspapers have reacted with enthusiasm to this election result. First of all, we've got Yeni Shafak here, that's a pro-government paper, and it's calling it a gorgeous victory. Then we've got Bugün. Now, Bugün was the paper that was taken over by a government-appointed trustee last week after it had been critical of the Erdogan government. Well, the paper has completely changed its tune. It's calling this a victory for Turkey. And finally, Cumhuriyet, the most critical newspaper, whose editor faces possible charges for treason, and that paper is calling this a victory for fear. So the people have spoken, yes, but many Turks remain fearful nonetheless. For Muslim democracies are thin on the ground in these parts, and this one might be seeking inspiration from the sultans themselves.